Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Oh my God, this Friday. I want to talk, obviously, of course, about the energy of Friday, but for just 1 minute, I want to go over a little bit about what has been happening with this housing crisis. That's the only way I can call it now. That's the only way I can feel about it. I made a video almost a week ago sharing what I've learned about the properties. I even in the video scanned some addresses. A person from one of those addresses reached out, and she is now about 2 weeks away from being evicted. She's going to try and go to the courthouse today to get more time. I'm reaching back out with a person from Paris Gray, Councilperson Paris Gray's office today. I'm going to let her know when I talk to her about this person to see if I can get her any help. I got to say, her story kind of pulled at my guts because, you know, she said, you know, I'm a young person. I've never been through this before, and I don't have any parents. I don't have any grandparents, and I can relate. Like, she can't get state help because of these things. And she was sort of getting a whiff of what was happening, and she said, you know, as soon as she started questioning, they filed for a motion for eviction. So if you have any ideas, any resources for this person, please reach out. And if you have any financial resources, please reach out. Her balance is like $1,520, something like that. And I know that while everyone that has been a lawyer that has talked to me has advised me personally not to give any money, this person's in a different position because now she already has the eviction order in place. So my hope is that somehow she is able to get more time. And I personally don't have the financial means to help her. And, you know, I'm going to see whatever I can do as far as legal advocacy as a person learning. Bless you. And see what I can do to help her today. But if you're seeing this and you know anything, please reach out. Please let me know what I can advise for her. Bless you. And lastly, I'm wanting to get in touch with someone that can help me learn all of the homes that are owned by the property manager of She and I. I know that Better Management is owned by the same person who bought my house, who is in the Baltimore Banner article, who is part of this large-scale fraud. They said it's upwards of like $100 million. Bless you. So this is a huge, huge thing. Many people's homes are going to be foreclosed on, and possibly all at same times, which is going to just make a huge ripple in our housing world. So, and the biggest thing is that these families don't know. The name of the other woman, her property manager's Empire. When I looked up that person, if I'm looking at the right place, I'll confirm everything before I share. That name doesn't connect. However, the dialogue that the woman has shared with me sort of matches mine. You know, we don't know anything. Everything's fine, you know, and so that's all I got there. I'm going to see if I can figure out the properties owned by them. I know Better Management took over for Paradise, and when Paradise had it, they owned 78 properties. So I know there are 77 other homes connected to my property manager, and I have no idea how many the other one has and how to do that. So if you have any ideas for any of those things, please reach out. So now I'm just going to get into the Friday and my personal wave with all of this, with my ever-evolving creation. And the most important thing being my faith and my knowing through all of this transformation for myself. Ever since this started, I've been hearing from the universe, from my soul stream, I'm going to be okay. You know, and because this journey of, you know, securing housing for me and my children after divorce has been such a big dang deal, I've already been kind of going through these waves, you know, I've already had obstacles. So at this point, it's so interesting because it feels like the Bowser. It feels like the big boss of this whole thing. And by the outcome, I will be stable in my home. And even if for some reason it can't be this home, which You know, some days it's looking like it can't be. Like, we'll have a few more precious days here, maybe weeks or months. But it doesn't look like we're going to be able to stay here, even though that's what I had been dreaming for years, even though that's what I felt immediately. And I'm learning that the more I am okay with that, the more that this all is being accelerated to okay. You know, I'm getting more help. I'm not like, I showed up at the courthouse and by the time I got to the courthouse, my nerves were like 100. And I'm like, just at this point, I'm focusing on keeping my nervous system balanced and not fainting. You know, I didn't get a chance to talk to anybody before I spoke to the judge. But by the time I spoke to the judge, I was calm. I delivered everything clearly. And I felt empowered. I felt stable. And I still was very much on my own. After that, I was able to talk to a paralegal and then an attorney. It almost felt like they wanted to talk to me because they heard what I had. They saw my evidence. It was as if they knew I meant business, you know, and that felt good. Everything that, all the mirroring back, and I got the mirror of confirmation that I was on the right track, and I got more nuggets. So I know that as I continue to know, you know, because this is a mind and heart experience. That's how we're truly manifesting. When our heart believes what our mind knows and it feels good to us, when we can think well for ourselves, it must be done. You know, anything can happen. Of all the things that I thought could happen the other day when I went into the courtroom, what happened was not what I expected to happen. I think it was better than what I expected. It was better than what I expected, you know, and I know that from this part, the war is not over. Bowser is not totally done, but I 100% stomped his head that time, and he is recalibrating. He is preparing to come back, and I am also preparing to be stronger, and I will have more by the time we are there again, and I know this. So I know that it's going to be delivered to me through manifestation. And on Friday, I celebrate that. I celebrate knowing that I get to be in love with life, even when it's hard. I get to know that even when it's like, this is going to be crunchy, I'm still supported. I'm still going to find the silver lining. There will still be up leveling. And as I get better and better at this, these crunchy moments will become less and less. There will be less Bowsers to overcome because I will just continuously believe in better, in easier, in more. And hi. It's a little early and we're going to do your school before the girls do, okay? Stay nearby, not to the woods. Okay. And you got your coat, right? You got your coat? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, those are my nuggets and thoughts for Friday. And, you know, this is an evolving thing for me. My mind and energetic work is like into when you go to the gym and you have leg day and arm day and all those different body parts. When I think about the way that I care for my energy, I love how this is played out. The synchronicities have been celebrating and screaming with me, and it's just more and more knowing, more and more reminding and reinforcing and stabilizing and preparing and not having to prepare. I don't have to have it all. I do my part. I do what I know I hear, and I let the rest be done. You know, I didn't go into the courtroom scrambling. I went in there and I stood stable until the components came to me, and they did. You know, all of them actually did. So, you know, you are your magnet, and, you know, however you're thinking and however your heart is believing about that, your life is being created to you through that filter. That's how we manifest the same. And it applies to our physical body. It applies to our loving relationships. It applies to our parental and familial family relationships. It applies to our money relationships, everything. There's nothing untouched by your belief system and your emotional body. And in fact, anything that you are experiencing has already been filtered through that to some degree, with or without your awareness, with or without your loving attention. And at any moment you could start focusing in a sharper way for you, more well for you, more well for you. And you do it step by step. You don't go from hot to cold. You do take the steps, and you can take all these steps, and you will be found by yourself. You will find your soul stream, your bigger self, your universe. You'll find the bigger part of you, however you want to call that. And that may change too, just like it has for me. But you are there. You're there. So at any moment you can turn in here, and you can let yourself be led by that part. And today I will celebrate that all day. I will celebrate this very large, maybe small victory, but it's large today. It's large as F, and it's making me just feel stronger and stronger. And I will be surfing and surfing, and this will be done. It's already done. I'm already in Barbados. Happy Friday. If you have any questions about this or anything that I share ever, and if you have any questions or ideas about the housing crisis, please feel free to reach out through Messenger, through the message, or through sharing on any of the posts, and I will be in contact with you. I'm replying to every single thing, and I will see you soon. Bye.